It's week 2 of the National Football League, and it's brought to you by EA Sports. It's the Steelers and the Broncos, and it's coming up next on Madden Football.
We've had a driving rainstorm make its way through the plains, and it definitely is going to be a factor here this afternoon at Empower Field at Mile High in Denver. And hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at this Bronco team. They come in off a loss in the opener last week. That one was on the road. Now they get their first taste here of home cooking.
And what they're hoping to do is feed off the energy of the home crowd. Great tailgate, great fan support. Let's see if they can put it to good use.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Steelers, they come off a good win in the opener on the road, and they get a second road game here.
Yeah, the schedule makers didn't really...
And off we go from Denver. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. So the Steelers make their way out, led by their fourth-year quarterback, picked up in the offseason from the Chicago Bears, Justin Fields.
And while things obviously didn't pan out in Chicago, he told us the other day that he's looking forward to making the most of this next opportunity. Let's not forget, Fields is one of the few quarterbacks in NFL history to rush for over 1,000 yards in a season. So his struggles certainly have been from a lack of talent, but for him to make the next step, he has become as productive with his arm as he is with his legs.
Credit good coverage there in the pass breakup to Pat Surtain. We take a peek at the list of inactives for this week's game, and gosh, this early in the season, Charles, injuries already accumulating for this squad.
You got to wonder in this organization, are they just saying to themselves, well, hopefully we're just getting them out of the way early so we can make a late season push when we have everyone back? It certainly feels that way with the number of injuries they've had already.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Harris running straight ahead, and they will only muster a yard here to the 38. When you look at this Bronco defense, they've certainly had their struggles against the run at the 30th ranked unit out of 32 teams in the NFL.
For some defensive fronts, playing the run is not the priority. It's playing the pass, right? They get upfield, they rush the passer, and sometimes neglect stopping the run. That's something that they have to work on and reverse a little bit. Make sure you play the run on your way back to the quarterback.
Now 3rd down and 7. Here's Fields. That's going to be caught by Pickens. And he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be 4th and short.
And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. So now here are the Broncos to take over on offense, led out by their rookie quarterback, drafted 12th overall, Bo Nix out of Oregon.
And I can't imagine that week 1 was anything except a whirlwind for this young man. A few bright spots in the opener, but as expected, a few rookie mistakes as well. Let's find out if he learned from them, and we'll show some progress and improvement starting here in week 2.
And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, that he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
Now a 2nd and 10. Up the middle, it's Williams. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46. This defense for the Steelers, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
Yeah, they only allowed 13 points, and you can poll all 32 coaches, and I guarantee you they'd say, we'll take that.
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. There's your co-NFL record holder, T.J. Watt, doing what he does best, terrorizing quarterbacks.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields rolling to his right. Fields hit and the ball is loose. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
Now a 1st down carry for Harris. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. The slot man in motion right. He's going to get it on the jet sweep. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. He's going to be a yard short. Needed 2, but only got 1. 4th down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Now on 4th down, it's Cameron Johnston on to punt it away. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. Fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 15-yard line. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down. Now a give up the middle to Williams. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. The numbers on the ground for Williams a week ago. There isn't a coach alive who wouldn't like those numbers. Well over 100 yards and a touchdown, too.
Partner, I think all the coaches who are in that great coaching box in the sky would take those numbers.
So dead or alive?
Either way, they would take that kind of production.
They run the option here on 1st and 10. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Really good effort. He does it himself, picks up 15, also picks up the 1st down. Off the play fake, Nix. Open man, downfield is Reynolds. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
To throw is Nix. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. T.J. Watt, now 2 sacks for him already here in this first quarter of play.
Well, that's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a 2nd one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. They give it to Williams, running right. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. They lose 2 on that last play, so things get even tougher. 3rd and long coming up.
That was a terrific play, causing a loss. As a middle linebacker, simple. You can either fill holes or you can attack them, as he did there.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. T.J. Watt in there for the sack, and it's an important one from a personal standpoint, as that is sack number 100 in what has certainly been a terrific career to this point. Fourth down, so they send out Trenton Gill. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. We sort of suspected that the elements might wreak havoc on both of these offenses, and that's been the case. No points on either side as this drive begins with a first down. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. You look at this Bronco defense. This unit against the pass, hoping to get better for sure. Number 25 in the NFL right now.
And even though that's not the greatest ranking in the world, one thing you can say, they get after the quarterback. They're in the top 10 in the league in sacks.
And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. 3rd down and 1. They'll run again with Harris. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
And he'll be stopped right at midfield. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there at a first down.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
A run with Harris out of the shotgun. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. From the 44-yard line, here's 2nd and 3. Back to throw. Fields. He finds Pickens over the middle. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. Here's Fields. He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to convert, albeit not by much, on 3rd and a yard. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now it's Fields. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Watkins. Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. 2nd and a couple. Off play action. Fields. Got a man here. It's Wilson. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. A good pickup there. 26 yards.
And coming into this ball game, this was an offense that wasn't just talking about the notion of ball control. They were preaching it. They wanted to win the time of possession battle, and they've done so here. This drive's taken up quite a bit of the first quarter. Now they are set up 1st and goal.
Out of the gun, Fields. And he's got it. And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds. 3 yards is the gain that time. 2nd and goal. Harris. They'll toss to Harris. And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Najee Harris. His 2nd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Steelers are on the board first here this afternoon. But just power football there down near the goal line. Give it to him. He's able to push his way across.
Yeah, they went heavy there. Sometimes you have those big offensive linemen come in, have to report like they're eligible. But all they're doing is getting a good stance blocking, and getting their runner across the goal line.
The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Oh, a good return up past the 30. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
40 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Throwing Nix. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. Alex Highsmith making a nice play and getting the sack. Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. After 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter about to begin from Denver. It's the Broncos in possession of the football as they've got it with a third down coming up. Working out of the gun is Nix. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
Nice call on defense, rolling out the nickel package for that big third down play, and they did an excellent job locking down coverage and forcing him to try and run for it, and he doesn't get there, which brings up a big 4th down call.
Now here's Trenton Gill on to punt. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense.
Again, it's Harris on second down. And he goes across the 20 to the 22. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a third and about 4 more for a first. Fields now to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
On 4th down, out is the punter, Cameron Johnston, to boot it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return, and out will come the offense as they take over. And coming out now, the Broncos. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Nix to the air. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
And the fair catch is taken at about the 13-yard line here. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Steelers are going to take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory.
Here we go.
Harris starts the drive on the ground. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. 2nd down. 2nd down and 8. They run again with Harris. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. 49 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now. Nothing too fancy, just a carry up the middle, but a successful carry up the middle against this 3-4 defense.
And to be able to do that, what do you have to control? The nose guard, right? Got to be able to move him. Otherwise, you're not getting anything up the middle. Nice job by the center. Got a little help from one of his friends playing guard.
A tackle made there by Caden Stearns. Still 9 yards to go on 2nd down from the 27. Now Fields. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. From the gun on 3rd down, Fields. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Brandon Jones got in there, knocked that away.
1 first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
On is the punter, Johnston, now as he sends this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. So a change of possession here on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. They begin the drive with Williams. That's to about the 28. 2nd down coming up.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 11 coming up. Here's Nix. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, based on what we've seen so far, I don't think you can even call this an off day anymore, partner, because this group we're watching, they are totally out of rhythm, trying to get their game plan up and running. That 0 on the scoreboard is glaring down at them with every incompletion.
And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. So good field position for the Steelers as they come up 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. They turn to Harris to begin the drive. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure you're back. You spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
And Najee going to have a Steelers first down as he's up to the 47. A nice little juke. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and that'll bring up 2nd down. A shotgun snap. Fields got an open man. It's Pickens. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. And that one too wide and incomplete. That close on 3rd down, I think everybody probably expecting a run. Instead, they go to the air on 3rd and short yardage.
I realize this is a passing league, and they're liable to throw the ball on any down and distance. But that short, I do question the call. Run the football and pick it up.
And here we go on 4th down. Fields. He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage.
2 yards on the play. And the Steelers first down.
On the give, this is Harris. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on 1st down because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on 2nd.
To throw is Fields. Throwing for the out route, he finds Wilson. And he gets us down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. They hand this off to Harris. And Harris is not going to get there. Great work defensively to stop him short. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
And he's not even going to come close to picking up the first. They stop him right at the line of scrimmage. The Steelers try it, but they come up empty on 4th down. And this 10-play drive winds up yielding nothing. So he needed the short yardage, Charles. He elected to try to bounce it outside of the outer third, unsuccessful.
Sometimes those plays are stacked up by the defense and there's nowhere to go, so you have to bounce it outside. And some backs just get impatient. They want to go to where they think there's more open territory instead of going where the play was actually blocked. In any case, it didn't work here.
They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. 52 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Now this offense hoping to avoid the 0-2 start. They trail, but they've got a 1st and 10 here. Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. From just across the midfield stripe, here's a 2nd and 8. Now it's Nix. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. T.J. Watt able to record his 5th sack of the season. But, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
He'll let this go deep for Sutton. And this is caught inside the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far, and never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. Williams diving for the end zone, and he'll get there. Touchdown. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
Lutz with the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And a drive that stalled out last time. Went for it on 4th, didn't get it. How does that translate here? I would imagine momentum's with the defense.
Definitely with the defense, because anytime anyone goes for it on 4th down, That's telling you as a defense that you can't stop us. We don't think that you can. And when you actually do, that may put a little dent in the confidence of the offense the next time they hit the field.
Yeah, we'll see if they can bring that pride in the offense this go-around. In motion right, one of the tight ends. They'll run with Harris. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Marked that down for a win in the defense's column.
A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on 3rd down. Fields. Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. So a nice play defensively by the rookie, coming up with the INT.
And that's a late-round pick right there, making a first-round impact. And a lot of these day 3 corners, they end up winding up on special teams and sub-packages and even on the practice squad. But he's really made an impact on this defense, and he comes up with the interception there.
Denver's offense now set to go. And now they start in plus territory following that turnover as they'll try to get some points here before halftime. To throw, here's Nix. Forced out to his left. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And he takes it back to the house. A fumble recovery for a Steelers score. Oh, backbreaker. That'll drive the coach, the offensive coordinator, just crazy. You get it all the way down there in the red zone, can't capitalize. Instead, they go the other way on the fumble return for a touchdown.
How about the aggressiveness of the defense, though? They're not about to just fall on a fumble, are they? Scoop and score is their motto, and they just did it.
Boswell for the extra point. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but their first play led to a fumble that was returned for 6.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a short memory to play in the NFL. You got to remember what you did wrong so you don't repeat it, but you can't dwell on it because then you will repeat it, and that's what you don't want to do.
Off the play fake, here's Nix. And he wants Reynolds way downfield. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Nix. And this is going to be incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well. So that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field's still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
Nick Bonito coming in there to record the sack. They don't want to repeat a first down. They'll keep it on the ground. And a pretty good run, all things considered. Probably would have liked that in the first quarter instead of right now as the clock continues to run. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Here's Fields. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Fields, we know he has the good mobility. He flashes it there as he scrambles for the first down. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Steelers out in front. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. More from you and Charles in a bit. But first, time for a look around the NFL to see what's going on here in the late window. We'll get started out at GEHA Field at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. And that's been a back-and-forth game, all tied in the second quarter. We'll stay in the NFC North as we head over to the Motor City to check on the Lions at home in Detroit. And they were losers in that one to the visiting Tampa Bay Bucks. Baker Mayfield, 2 touchdown passes as his guys make amends for the setback in Week 1. Lastly, let's get you to Charlotte, North Carolina. Check on the Panthers at home at Bank of America Stadium. And they were winners in that one over the visiting LA Chargers. 22-7 the final. We got a fine first half out of the former Alabama man, Najee Harris. He had a touchdown run that helped get his guys this halftime lead. We were certainly treated to an entertaining first half. Both these teams with some high points and maybe a couple of low points as well. So it's going to be a question of who can be the most disciplined team going forward.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. Denver's offense ready to go again. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. And they do trail, but they have a chance to possess the football first to try and do something about it.
And that certainly makes it something of an important drive for them because is it going to win the game? No, but you have to do something to bring some life to your sideline.
Here's a 2nd and 9 now from the 29. Looking to throw. Nix, nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and it's picked up by the Steelers. And he takes it back to the house. A fumble recovery for a Steelers score. So that is now 2 fumble return touchdowns. And you talk about something that's going to drive a head coach crazy.
Without a doubt, but for the defensive guys, once you do it once, you create a frenzy. Everybody wants to get involved, and they got it done a second time.
Extra point now by Boswell. It's good, and it is now 21-7. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The Broncos offense and Bo Nix getting set for this next possession. And it's been a struggle for him all afternoon. This defense has really done a nice job of making him earn everything he gets, and it's prevented him from getting into any kind of rhythm here today. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. On play action, here's Nix. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had a window to push that ball downfield, but as soon as he released the throw, the corner was there to slam that window shut.
Up the middle, it's Williams. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure.
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. Multiple rushers break through to drop him for the 7th time this game. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
The Broncos send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steelers' offense and running back Najee Harris set to take over once more. And as you take a look at the numbers, you have to imagine he was the topic of the halftime talk for this defense. We've got to find a way to slow him down. That's probably what they're saying, but nothing that they have done. Rush coming, and he's taken down. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd.
Well, partner, we know they came out of the locker room down on the scoreboard, but I will guarantee you the defensive side of the ball got super emotional. They can come out and play with aggressiveness, with fury, because they don't have to be quite as precise, and it paid off for them on that play, didn't it?
Sure did. Excellent play, really setting the tone for this 3rd quarter. Now we'll pause for an injury here. That's George Pickens, the receiver who's in some discomfort. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. Jefferson going to go in motion right. And they're going to give it to him on the jet sweep. Cody Barton there to bring him down. But defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Back to throw. Fields setting up the screen. Harris. And he's going to get this inside the 30. The Steeler 1st down on the pickup of 11 yards.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
On play action, Fields. Looking left side for Watkins, and he's got him. And down inside the 15 he goes. A 14-yard gain there as they look to improve this 14-point lead. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Back to throw, Fields. This is caught. And in for the Steelers touchdown. Pat Freiermuth, his 1st touchdown of the new season. And the Steelers take a 3-touchdown lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. And the football going back over to the Denver Broncos. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 10. At the 25-yard
They'll stay on the ground with Williams. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage would be found.
To throw is Nix. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Looks like another empty possession offensively. And you're at that point in the game where you can't afford too many more of these. So this is going to require some heavy thinking on the sideline to figure out what they can do to crack this defense.
He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return. And now out come the Steelers.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Harris going to get it again on 2nd down.
And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Now it's Fields.
He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there. It's 2nd down.
His running ability has been an extra dimension of their game plan thus far. For once, though, he doesn't create any magic against the front that's prepared for him to try and take off.
Here's Fields. He finds Pickens over the middle.
And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. Harris running straight ahead, and he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. 2nd down coming up.
Now it looks like we're going to get a stoppage here. An injured Steeler on that last play.
We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver.
2nd and 7, operating from the 34. Out of the gun, Fields. A short one there to Freiermuth.
And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 25-yard line.
And the Steelers first down.
Here we go. Right.
This is Harris. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2.
They'll keep it on the ground. Harris again. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields. Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line.
Ineligible receiver downfield. Offense.
And those linemen, of course, can't be more than a yard downfield when a pass is thrown, and they might have been able to call that on a couple of guys there.
3rd down and 6. Fields now to throw.
And oh, it'll be intercepted.
Brandon Jones picking it off. And the Broncos are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the third quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is a team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
Now a man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Williams. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. Now 2nd and 7 from the 23.
Nix to the air.
He's got his 6'5" receiver. That's Tim Patrick. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Now it appears we have a Steeler here slow to get up. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Throwing, Nix. That's complete. It's Greg Dulcich.
And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it's 2nd down.
At the 35-yard line.
Here's Nix.
He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down.
Kudos for the defense from me on that one because they were prepared the whole way for him to try to escape and hit them for more yardage running it. I like the way they stayed zeroed in on him and kept him contained when he pulled the ball down. I think he was fortunate to get what he did on that run.
It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And a fair catch called for and made just outside the 15-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field.
Not an ideal way to end their previous drive. They threw the interception, Charles, after they had built up some momentum. They were moving the football, but something to at least build on for this offense as they run back out here.
Yeah, you're right about that. Up until that last play, everything was working pretty well for this offense, gaining chunks of yardage, getting first downs, really making a push for the end zone, and looked like they had a nice rhythm going. Now you got to have a short memory here. Don't focus on the interception. Focus on what came before it and get back to it.
From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive.
Now Fields.
He's going to look deep for Watkins. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
When you look at the scoreboard, you'd think they'd be pretty comfortable right now with this lead, but these guys are absolutely not going to let up. They want to increase their lead, and they want to do it with a big play. Unable to connect.
And the Broncos get there and take him down.
More than one defender there, and that's a loss of 5 on the sack. That time, finally, a measure of revenge as they get him down behind the line.
It almost felt like relief, didn't it? Because with the success he's had throughout this game, you'd almost expect him to get free and pick up 10 to 15 every time he takes off. Not in that case. That has to feel good for the defense.
23 yards on the tuck and run. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 43. Looking to throw. Fields. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
Things started a little slow for him as a runner, but he has really found a different gear here in this second half. He's been more aggressive, challenging the defense when he sees an opportunity, and now he has a 100-yard game to show for it.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Alex Singleton making the play defensively.
Well, this has turned into an absolute week to forget for this quarterback. Multiple sacks, pair that with multiple turnovers. As far as he's concerned, if he ever sees this defense again, it'll be way too soon.
Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. This is Harris on the draw. And he can only get this to the 42-yard line, and that is not near enough. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down. Before they can get the punt away, whistles as we've come to the end of the 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back now to Denver. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. So the Broncos coming out now. Even though they were able to force the punt defensively, still a big hole to climb out of, especially at this late stage of the contest. Throwing to start the drive. Nix buying time to his left. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Well, this has certainly turned into a showcase game for what he can do on the ground because they're just continuing to give him chances to run it, and he's earning every additional carry by putting up positive yardage on each run.
And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here. This offense so far on 3rd down, not getting the job done at all. A very poor 1 for 10. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Back to throw. Nix under pressure, and down he goes.
Well, this is getting ridiculous. 8 sacks now. That time multiple guys get to him.
And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has, but in his defense, he hasn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense?
In his defense. I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
They're going. It's Nix.
And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Broncos unable to convert here on 4th. And now possession will go over inside the 15-yard line. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
They'll run. Here's Harris. He'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
I know the game's not over, but there's got to be a sense of satisfaction right now for the guy carrying the football a bunch today. 99 yards, and he has enough time to go over the century mark.
Well, you got to give it to him again, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. You're not worried about losing yardage here. You're not worried about any of that. You just want to get him to the promised land for every runner, 100 yards or more in a game.
Operating from the gun, Fields. His throw caught at about the 5. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a first down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10.
2 yards still to go. 3rd down now.
Looking to throw. Fields. They'll roll him out right. And this is not going to be enough. Was in search of 2 yards and only got halfway there.
And this is a rarity in the NFL, a 100-yard game on the ground for a quarterback. Even as those passers get more athletic and mobile, we only see about 5 of these a season. It takes a special set of circumstances for it to happen, and of course, a special player.
So the snap will come from the 3, but remember, they don't need the touchdown. They can get the first down if they get a yard, and the ball gets to the 2. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1.
From the gun, here's Fields.
Sliding out of the pocket. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers.
Justin Fields
taking it in from a yard out.
And the Steelers are on their way to a 2-0 start. So I tell you what, Charles, I know that you don't put a ton of stock into power rankings and things of that nature, but another score here, and 2 weeks into the season, this is maybe the most impressive team in the NFL. Would you agree?
Well, they've certainly sold me as they've sold you. And I agree with you, no question about it. They won easily last week. They're on their way to another lopsided victory here. They're definitely a team to be reckoned with, and they are serving notice to the rest of the league.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Broncos are about set to go on offense.
Charles, we know that this offense is aggressive. We saw that last drive. They went for it on 4th down, didn't get it. Then they give up the touchdown. So now you feel like they really need to respond here.
They certainly do, but let's face it. Sometimes when you take that risk, you understand if you fail,